Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk all things finance and investing. Today's video, we're going to talk about a 6-month plan to help you transform and supercharge your personal finances to get you on the path to saving more money so you can accumulate more wealth. At the time of filming this video, we're almost halfway through 2025, so I thought the timing would be really good to produce a video like this, and it allows you to prepare and get ready through the second half of 2025 by implementing these steps, one for each month, so you start off the new year 2026 in fantastic shape and ready to supercharge your savings overall and put you onto a fantastic long-term path. So on that note, let's get into it. 6 steps over 6 months and how to transform your personal finances. All right, so in month 1, what you really want to do here is try and get some clarity, transparency on your finances and your current state of play at the moment. It's hard to believe, but so many people just don't do this and just don't really have a good grasp about what's going on in their bank accounts and some of the fundamentals that you need to understand in order to save more money and grow more wealth. It's really all about the mindset, just like it is with so many other things in life. So month 1, here's what you want to do. First thing, you want to get a little bit of an understanding of net worth, and that's really just your assets minus your liabilities. So write down, however you like to do this, track all the assets that you have and minus that from all your liabilities, okay? Assets, just cash in the bank, maybe any investments, anything that you have is worth something. You may not have anything at all. You could be just starting out on the journey, and that's fine too. But at least you're getting these concepts into your mind because they're going to help guide you for the rest of your working life. Then you want to focus on your liabilities, and these are things like any loans that you need to repay, any sort of debt at all that you're carrying, okay? And get an idea of all of this stuff and get it all written down, work out your assets minus your liabilities, then you have your current net worth. And the name of the game is trying to increase that net worth. So how are you going to do that? Well, in month 1, when you're trying to get clarity, the most important thing as well is to get an idea of your income minus your expenses, because that's what's going to contribute into your assets minus your liabilities and your net worth. And really, it's going to take you not much work at all to get an idea of your income. And for most people, that's just going to be their salary. Okay, but your expenses is what's really going to need some effort here, because a lot of people just don't have any clue what's going out of their bank account, and they don't think about the things that they're buying and the expenses that are occurring. So here's what you want to do. You want to sit down, you want to pull up your bank account that you use, your main bank account where money goes in and out of, and you want to start listing out all of those expenses, all of those debits that are happening, so you have full idea, a deep audit on this, lots of transparency, and you list them all out. Stick it in an Excel sheet, use a budgeting app, whatever you want, but get them all down. Sum them all up, and now you've got an idea of what your expenses are. So if you know your income, you know your expenses, now you see whether you're basically in the green and staying on top. In other words, you're earning more income than your expenses or not. And if not, it's time to get control of your expenses. Okay, here what you want to do is you want to start cutting out those expenses as much as you possibly can. Subscriptions, whatever else you can do that you can cut out of those expenses. And by doing this, not only will you have good visibility on it, but the most important thing it will do, it will start to change your mindset bit by bit. So the next time you go to tap for a purchase, whatever that may be, could be a coffee, it could be a night out, it could be anything, you're going to stop and think, how is this going to affect my income minus my expenses and my net worth overall? Month 1, track the expenses. Okay, month 2, it's time to start getting rid of some of those debts. So we revisit those liabilities that you've identified. And the main thing here is, what are the debts that you owe? And if you've got credit card debt, particularly high interest credit card debt, and most credit cards do tend to carry very high interest rates, you absolutely need to prioritize these first and get them killed off as quickly as possible. The work you've done in month 1 to identify your expenses and reduce that, you're going to take that money and any other income that you've got that you can use, and you're going to start killing off your high interest debt. If you've got a credit card debt, you got to just focus on this and get it done. And I prefer you to use the avalanche method. And with the avalanche method, what you're doing is you're prioritizing your highest credit card debt first. That is highest interest. Okay, and you want to start lumping payments onto this as much as you possibly can here to start reducing your credit card or any other high interest debt that you carry. The interest rate, you may not even know what the interest rate is, so you want to find that out. And you can also call the credit card provider and explain to them that you need a bit of help, and can they possibly even reduce the rate? Can we negotiate on it if you start making some higher payments? So focus on your high interest rate first and pound that away with payments as much as you can based on your savings and expenses that you did in month one. Okay, so now you're on a good path. You know all your expenses. You've reduced them as much as you possibly can that's feasible. You now start pounding away your high interest credit card debt, and ideally you've got all of that stuff under control. Month 3 now, what you want to start thinking about is building an emergency fund. You need to have this, and a lot of people just don't have one in place. An emergency fund is there to protect you if you've lost your job, you got hit with a sudden expense that you just can't get around, maybe something breaks in your car, whatever it may be. But it's now time to start building an emergency fund. And with that, you just want to put funds away into a high yielding interest savings account, okay? But this money should not be in the stock market or anything like that. You need to have this really in a bank account and ideally earning a little bit of interest. Start small with smaller goals and then start working your way up. It may be that even £500 or $500 or $1,000 is really all you can manage to start off with. No problem. Start there. And once you hit that number, start increasing it a bit more. The key here is you're getting the discipline of starting to save back on the back of all the work that you've done in months 1 and 2. So get your emergency fund. Ideally, you want about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Put away an emergency fund in case you lost your job. But really, it's all about getting started. Don't be put off if the numbers look too big for you. Just start getting this done and it'll start to snowball in your favor. Month 3, get an emergency fund done. All right, we're now in month 4. You got a good grasp of your expenses. You understand the fundamentals. You're paying down credit card debt. You're building up an emergency fund. Now it's time to think about increasing your income. For most people, their only source of income is going to be their main job and the paycheck that they get in and month out. But now you need to start thinking, how can I increase this? The obvious answer really is to find another job. And if you think you can do that and make that happen and get more money, then go for it. But that may not be the best solution for everyone. Maybe the most obvious thing to do is start thinking about your current job. Is there a way that you could get more money out of your employer? How would you go about doing that? The most obvious and easiest way to do this is really just to ask for a little bit more responsibility. Put your hand up in your one-to-one with your manager, for example, and think, I would like to get involved more in this. I would like to take more of that on my plate. Whatever it is, try and get a little more responsibility under your belt and then deliver on those projects or those assignments that you're taking on in your day job. And the whole idea here is, as you're doing that and you've built up some value, additional value than what you already have, it then is going to put you in a better picture in future reviews, or when your annual compensation review comes around, you're then able to have the conversation, I would like more money and I need more money. I need a bigger raise than I've been getting, or whatever. It may also mean an internal job move where you get paid more as well. Look, there's loads of data out there to support this. And I've seen a lot of people just take what they're given in raises and bonuses and things like that. Change your mindset a little bit. Take on some additional work and then ask for more. And remember to always be singing your own praises. The things that you've done well, make sure the people who are going to decide your income are aware of them and use it to your advantage to try and get more money out of your existing employer. But of course, if none of that works and they're not valuing the work that you do, then you need to start looking for something else. And of course, you can always pick up side hustles, extra jobs, whatever you can do around your main job to just earn more money. So try and increase your income here in month 4. All right, we're into month 5 now, and this is where it starts getting really fun and the stuff that I really like to talk about. And this is where now you're going to start investing for the long term. That's right, you're going to open up a brokerage account. You're going to automate your savings so you start getting money every month moved into this brokerage account. If you're in the UK, you want to think about doing this in an ISA, an individual savings account, so you have all the tax advantages of that. And if you're not in the UK, you're somewhere else, you probably have a tax advantage savings account that you can use as well. So do that and start automatically investing into that, into the stock market. Do not try and pick individual stocks. I see this all the time, week in and week out. Everywhere I go, people I talk to, clients, colleagues, or whatever, everyone wants to get rich quick. So rather than investing in index funds and ETFs, loads of videos, I'll put a few in the descriptions that you can watch. I've done loads of videos on this stuff, so have a look at that. But rather than trying to fast track it and not be buying index funds or ETFs that track things like the S&P 500, do not, I beg you, do not start trying to buy individual stocks, and worse, individual small cap stocks that you think are going to make you rich in a year. It just isn't going to happen, and you'll have far worse results, and worse still, it'll put you off investing maybe forever, and that is a terrible thing. Just buy an index fund on the main indices like the S&P 500 or a world index tracker, and do it for the long term, and avoid all the noise when the market starts to sell off, because that's what happens. But have a look at some of my videos in the description, which hopefully will give you more knowledge and the confidence to start investing and do it the right way. I've seen it the wrong way for many, many years, and I have seen clients do it the right way, and that's with a long-term mindset, mainly in exchange-traded funds. All right, now we're in month 6, and you've done a lot of work on this, and hopefully you've made a lot of progress. Here's the secret to success in all the other 5 steps, and for you for the long term when it comes to your personal finances and supercharging that through to grow your wealth. And that is having this as part of a system in your day-to-day life where you're constantly reviewing your expenses, you're constantly thinking about your net worth, and you're also thinking about ways to increase your income, pad that emergency fund, and most importantly, get money into your tax-free savings account like your ISA, into the market, and invest it for the long term. You should now have all the fundamentals down. You should now have these concepts bouncing around your head when you're out and about in the streets looking to buy something that maybe you don't really need, and it's really just something you want. Automated systems like automatic investment, dividend reinvestment, and a process where you go weekly or monthly reviewing your expenses, your income, and everything else in and out of your bank account. This is what's going to keep you on track or not. Have your goals as well. I like to set my goals based on the calendar year. I think most people do. So when you start off in January now and you're ready to go with the basics down, think about what it is you want to achieve when the end of 2026 comes around, for example, and where you want to be in these savings accounts that you've opened up and investments and everything like that, okay? And always look for room to improve on your systems and make this just a part of your life. Just like exercise, eating well, whatever it may be, just make it a part of your life, a habit. So that's the 6-step plan over 6 months that you can use for the rest of 2025 to get on top of your finances and get you ready for a great 2026 and beyond for your finances, and get the goals that you want to achieve in accumulating your wealth. Also, if you're somebody who's really struggling at the moment, you're finding it tough, then by putting these steps into place, it's going to give you some of the confidence to just get on top of it, get control a little bit, and stop falling behind, especially with high interest credit card debt. If you like the video, then why not click on that link button? And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have more subscribers and help me produce more content like this. If you want to know what I do with my investments, because, well, a lot of people always ask me this, and what do I invest in? What do I think is happening in the markets and things like that? Very straightforward. My one fund portfolio, put a link for that right up here. Click on my one fund portfolio video there. I'll see you over there. And as always, I wish you nothing but the best in your savings and investment journey.